something called the 5-star shout out. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make a you know what I'm talking about. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the side, Jawn. Okay. So good morning. It's Saturday morning. So welcome to the side, Jawn. I am your host or hostess, host, I guess, Sharon, the chocolate writer. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, like we do every Saturday, unless there's an issue. And I know you see the panel over there. My guest, he's there in the chalet. So he'll come into view in just a second. So while we're coming into view, go ahead and like and share the show. I don't have that, what do you call that? That producer working with me today. So need your help liking and sharing the show. All right. So we usually start out, how our week was. I'm going to tell a little bit about my week. So as you may know, we live in North Carolina, and that Hurricane Helene came, hit the coast, but we didn't get anything really here. Just all week long. It's like the last 3 days has been like dreary and showers, but no wind. We didn't get any wind. We didn't get a whole bunch of storms. Now, yesterday, there was a little tornado warnings in the middle of the day, and I was in the bathroom at one point, just sitting there with my laptop and my purse, my valuables with all my important papers in it, and I was just in the bathroom, just doing stuff on my laptop. So anyway, but we're fine here. Everything is fine. So I marked myself safe in Facebook. But our guest is here, the one and only Love Doctor. What's up, Lynn Sturdivant? Welcome back. So glad to have you back on the show today.
I am pleased to be here, just full of information, ready to share.
Well, good. How was your week, Lynn?
It was good. Good. I can't complain. Nice light week. Didn't have a lot of clients. Everyone's it kind of ebbs and flows. So we're starting to come indoor now. So I'm going to start ramping up. As colder it gets, more couples are going to be inside, and they're going to be going at each other. So we'll see. Okay. It's a nice little break, little interim break before the other storm.
Okay. All right. So do you the fall back is coming where we lose a day, like we lose an hour or something. I think lose an hour. Does that ever affect you? Does that affect you?
No, because I don't sleep well, so it never really bothers me. I get about maybe between 4 and 6 hours a night, so it does. I don't feel it. I do notice it that it'll be darker it'll be darker in the mornings. No, it'll be lighter in the mornings. There you go. Daylight savings time. So yeah, it'll be lighter in the morning. It'll get dark quick now.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's true. So this time of year, because of that, I have that seasonal affective disorder.
Oh.
So this time, like the end of September into October, is kind of when I feel the lulls start to come in a little bit. By the time we fall back and lose that hour of sleep, I'll probably be about 3/4 of the way there into it.
You can
already because the sunlight, I have to have that sunlight. It's
you,
just,
you can get actually you could probably do it with your O-ring. That's how they normally treat seasonal affective disorder. You sit in front of the O-ring for about 20, 25 minutes, and you can kind of mitigate some of the lack of sunshine. But you need the sun to hit your face because of the
yeah, the vitamin D.
photons.
I
Yeah,
need.
well, the vitamin D and the photons from the sun
Mhm.
tell melatonin to start production when it gets dark.
Well, well, I need that. I need that. I need that. And this is a tough time of the year, so
Mhm.
I try to do things that are fun and make me laugh this time of year because I'm not naturally joyful because of this time of year. So anyway, we'll get through that. Get through that. But we're running into October. Do you like fall? Do you like this time of year?
No, I'm a summer person.
Yeah,
I
me too.
love hot weather, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Mm-hmm.
I play tennis outside in 90-degree heat. So,
Well, see, that was my next question. I was going to ask you, how's the tennis going? Because I know you playing tennis.
yeah, it gets cold. Then we got to put on layers, and I'm playing indoor this winter. So
Oh, well, I need a tennis lesson. You gonna give me a tennis lesson?
sure.
I used to play tennis. You think it'll all come back to me?
It's motor memory. Yeah, just like
Hmm.
riding a bike.
I have to think about that. I think I'd rather do the tennis than the bike because I'm telling you, I just I tried to get on a stationary bike one time. Oh my God, that thing hurt. It just hurt. I was like, I can't do this. Mm-mm. Not the
Well,
bike. I can do the sit down at the gym, sit down with your legs and just your legs, but you're sitting with your
uh-huh.
legs. I can do that. But
Okay.
on that stationary bike, oh my God, that little pad, it's not enough padding or something. Anyway, it's just not for me. Doesn't work for the chocolate girl. This does not work for me. We're gonna stay away from that.
Okay. I hear you.
But anyway, love doctor coming out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And I'm here in Durham. We got some interesting people down in this parts of town, don't we? We got some interesting folks out here.
Uh,
But none of them are more interesting than these folks we're about to talk about today.
okay. What you got?
I got some videos for us today, and and I also have a little graphic. Let me try to get the first one is the video. First video. Let me see. Oh, me and this thing. Oh, here. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Okay. Mm-hmm. All righty. Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's go.
I see I don't hear the words. I see the video. I don't hear the words coming out. No, I don't. Oh, okay.
Okay. So you couldn't hear it?
I couldn't hear it.
Okay. So basically, this is what happened. Man and his wife go into a restaurant, have a seat. Man goes to the bathroom. This other dude comes over and tries to holler at the wife. And by the time the husband gets back to the table, he can see his wife and this guy is in a confrontation. And so he says, well, what's going on? And she said that this dude tried to, hit on me as soon as you left. He's tried to hit on me. And he said, okay, well, did he say anything disrespectful? She said, well, no, but he saw us walk in together. He shouldn't have done that. And he said, well, hey, I didn't even know that y'all were married or anything. I was just shooting my shot.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, well, so if he said nothing disrespectful, then we good. Long as he didn't disrespect you. She got mad because she felt like he should have taken issue with the guy or something. And so she actually stormed out the restaurant. So my question to you is, or his question on the video was, who's right?
That's interesting.
What are your thoughts, love doctor?
I guess I guess she was looking for a Will Smith experience, and that's not always possible. So she was looking for her man to defend her honor,
Mm, yep.
which implies that her her honor has a void in it. It's an empty space, right?
Explain that. Wait a minute. What you mean? What you mean?
When usually women who don't have fathers to grow up with in the house, right? So your first love is your father. He's going to defend you. He's going to protect you, provide for you, all that. That all little girls are entitled to that. But if you grow up and you don't have that, then there's an empty space in part of your psyche that needs to be filled. So we know that nature abhors a vacuum. It hates an empty space. So something needs to go in that space. And what she was looking for her husband to do was to kind of retrofit her daddy not doing it. She needed to feel that. And so when you grow up and you don't feel that, then you look for opportunities for it to happen. Who's going to defend me? Who's going to provide for me? Who's going to protect me? It's just it wasn't really any of those scenes, but the husband said, all right, so did he say anything disrespectful? No. Okay. He shot his shot. So what she was looking for, it was that Will Smith moment where, you remember the Will Smith smacking Chris Rock? Yeah. She was looking for that, and it didn't happen. And she's disappointed that it didn't happen, but she's trying to, when you live in the past like that, it's very few opportunities to go back in the past and have a corrective experience, which is what she was trying to do.
Hmm. That's
My guess.
interesting. So if they showed up in your office talking about this issue,
Mhm.
what advice would you give him and her? What would you say to him and what would you say to her?
If they came into the office, I would ask her about the relationship she had with her father.
Mm.
And that would tell me everything. So if she grew up from 0 to 18 with a daddy in the house who loved her, who cherished her, who admired her, then that little incident wouldn't have happened because there wouldn't be no void. The daddy already filled that space for me. So, but if you don't grow up with all of that, then you it's almost like you seek it. It's like it's just intrinsic because you need to feel. All little girls need to feel provided for, protected, defended, have provision. So
Okay.
and that's what and we would go down the road of the daddy issue, and granted, when men and women are married, you're going to have mama issues. You're going to have daddy issues going to come up about 10, 15 times a year. Something that needed to be corrected because there's a part of your brain that has no sense of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it is part of your survival mechanism. And when that thing comes up, it kind of hits a survival trigger or something, or something that should be corrected. Sometimes you can talk your way through that, and sometimes not. I mean, but you got to be careful pushing up on folks here, especially in this age of concealed carry. You really, I mean,
That's true. You right. That's a point I hadn't thought about.
yeah, folks that you wouldn't suspect are packing. They got all kind of weaponry on them. In North Carolina, you have a concealed permit.
Mm-hmm.
You can stand your ground. So this is a threatening person. He was coming towards me in a threatening manner, and I shot just like that. And things can go left just like so. So the guy, what I thought he did was adequate, but either she don't like his leadership, which is a whole nother rabbit hole to go down, and finding out if they are matches psychologically, if they're a match for each other. So that's a whole nother ball of wax they're trying to go down. But usually
do you have any like recommendations or anything for him to do?
he
Is there
did
any
what he was
behavior
supposed to do.
change that he needs to make?
He did what he was supposed to do. Now, if he said something slick to her, then that may call for a correction, right? Because women want to feel that their man will handle that kind of business. They want to feel that, especially if as a woman you've never felt it, right? If your daddy wasn't there to provide it for you, then you got that empty space, and a lot of women are attracted to guys like their fathers, a lot of them. So, it's. I mean, this has so many facets to it that we could go down. How what was the relationship like with her father? Even if her father wasn't alive, did he ever protect her? Did he ever provide for her? She's looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking for that experience, and so he did the right thing. But it's really not worth an escalation in a restaurant.
No.
Because that can go left really fast. Now you got a legal issue or worse, that part.
Yeah. Well, I feel good. Let me pat myself on the back because that's when I first sent this to you. I thought about it. I was like, what is wrong with her? I'm like, why would she expect him to do that over that? It sounds like to me, this is the part we didn't talk about yet. Getting hit on by a guy who just happens to see you in a restaurant is kind of complimentary. He must have found you attractive. Can you look
That
at
part. Think about that part.
And then for a man, I had a friend tell me this one time, he wants to be with a woman that other people admire and look at.
Everybody
so he
does.
can say, I'm the one that has her. You know what I mean? And so I don't think she's looking at the right thing.
Right.
But I guess I can understand, given what you said, that maybe she has that void. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that void needed to be filled, and we could certainly have a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she needs to forgive her father so that she can stop, holding other people responsible for filling that void. What I like to say, she bleeds all over people who didn't cut her.
Ooh, say that again.
She bleeds all over people who didn't cut her.
Oh man, I like that. She bleeds all over people who did not cut her.
Yeah.
Man, that's something for your ass right there. That's a good quote right there. I never even thought about that. Wow.
Right. She's looking to have a corrective experience.
Right. So she's like the bag lady. She's carrying this bag with her.
She got a whole bunch of stuff she's carrying.
And he wants him to carry that bag for her.
Right.
and he don't have nothing to do with the bag.
No.
The
And she's
baggage.
bleeding all over him. So, but he didn't cut
Wow.
it. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, hi June. Thanks for watching. Thanks everybody that's in there in the comments. If you have a question for the Love Doctor, now's the time to put your questions in the chat. The Love Doctor, relationship guru, relationship professional, psychologist. He is the man. That's why we have him back at least once or twice a year.
Yeah, I love it. People just need information. They just need information. Once you have the information, you can make a better decision and have a choice. Right. So we could talk about the little girl on the inside of her. Okay.
True.
And people swap. Here's my adult. Here's my child self. You don't want your child self to run the show, because your child self, if you want to be technical about it, that's who picked him. It's your child self, because looking for somebody to finish childhood with. You could be in a room full of 100 men. Who's that one right there? That one vibrates on the exact same frequency as my dad. See, it's all kind of frequencies, vibration. There's information inside of frequencies that we pick up on. Some people pick up on it better than others. But yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. When I look back at all of the relationships I've been in, each one of them does have a lot of parts to them that are equal to my dad, like my dad. And they're not always the same thing. It could be different things.
Oh yeah,
but they have a couple of qualities like him. They do.
Well, that's half of who you are.
That's right.
You right in half. This half's my dad. You need that half in order to communicate with a man.
That's true.
That part.
All right. Any other words of advice on that situation, or that's about it on that one?
Well, you have to be aware of your inner child, and when the inner child takes the steering wheel, it's fluid. You don't even know you're doing it. I got couples who do that parallel escalation. They both go up at the same time. They hit the top of the cycle. They do this toxic tailspin on the way down. They hit the ground. And the harder you argue, your age simultaneously drops. You yelling at the top of your lungs and right. You're around 8 years old, because the adults don't do that. When you come back down, we come out of the cycle. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't even know that was a mistake in my head. That wasn't my heart. Blah, blah, blah. Then your adult part has to come in and clean it up.
Yeah, because that's the time you say things you don't mean.
Correct.
And you're out of control.
Yeah, that's the child part of you.
And then my mother was always good for saying, you can't unhurt though. Once you've said those things, you can't take those words back. All you can do is apologize and hope that the person forgives you. But it's not a guarantee, nor do you actually deserve it necessarily. So It's truly up to the person that you hurt.
Right. And it's and this is where session work helps, because you need a corrective experience, because if your inner child's grabbing the steering wheel, then your inner child, which is a real energy, does not trust the adult in you to make the decision. When the adult in you panics, hungry, lonely, angry, tired, that you get this swap. And when I swapped, I'm hungry, lonely, angry, tired, I go get some white chocolate, raspberry, truffle Haagen-Dazs, and I hit the bottom of the cup. Now, it feels good going down, but once I hit the bottom of the cup, my adult steps back in and goes, you just had 1,800 calories.
That's right.
And two days from now, I'm going to be 2 pounds heavier.
That's right.
Because I took it on. Oh, what were you thinking? What were you doing? So people mood alter, and I don't smoke or drink, so I mood alter with food, ice cream. So depends on your weapon of choice. Some
Your
people
yeah,
mood alter.
your
Some
thing.
people, some people mood alter with sex. Some people mood alter with work. Workaholic. I got some workaholics on my roster. They go to work.
Mm. Yeah, I know some workaholics who shall remain nameless, and one in particular. But yeah, that could be the reason why that person is like that.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I mood alter. I'm sacrificing for the family. Yeah,
Yes.
but I don't want to be at home with you and the kids and all that stuff. Is too much. I'd rather be at work. It's not. It's nowhere near as personal. It's nowhere near as intimate at work. I can
Hmm.
separate myself.
Got it. Hmm. Got it. Got it. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Hmm.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Man. Mm. Yeah, I think, oh boy, he might. I'm wondering. Oh, this was something else that came to my mind in this scenario. I'm wondering if something had happened like this before, and what if before he did do something or say something or blow up at the guy, and it went wrong. You see, so that could explain the reason why this time he's not doing that
Hmm.
because it didn't end well for him the last time.
Right. That, and she doesn't trust his leadership.
Mm. But that's a big part of this. You think the lack of trust?
Right. It's something. I'm holding you accountable for something that you had nothing to do with.
Wow. Mm.
Right.
So
Because
anyway, for those of you who are just coming in, I can see people are more people are watching. What we're talking about is a man and his wife walk into a restaurant. They sit down, and then the husband goes to the bathroom. And while he's at the bathroom and she's there by herself, another man in the restaurant comes over and tries to holler at her. By the time the husband gets back to the table, his wife and this young man is in a full blown argument. She explains the reason why is because he tried to hit on her and she didn't appreciate that. She felt disrespected. He said, well, did he say anything disrespectful to you? She said, no. He said, well, I didn't. She said, but he saw us walk in together. He should have known not to come over here. And the guy said, well, I didn't know if y'all were married or not, or together like that or not. So I just thought I'd shoot my shot. The husband was like, okay, no harm, no foul. But the wife was upset. She felt like he should have done something, I guess, to defend her honor right there in the restaurant, maybe beat him up, cuss him out, something. And since he didn't do it, she got mad and stormed out. So we just talked all about it. But if you just came in and want to give your opinion, who's right? Is she right to expect him to do that right there in the restaurant? Or is he right not to make a scene and not to do all that because, as she said, he didn't disrespect her? So, what's the expectation and how would you handle it? You can put that in the comments as well. But good stuff, love doctor. We're gonna move on to the next scenario. This one is not a video, so you don't have to worry about hearing it.
okay.
I'm going to just share it and let you see it. It's a graphic, and then I'll read it to you. All right. You can see that there. All right. My husband works, and I'm a stay at home mom. He is the most unselfish person I know. I handle all the finances, and he has never said or acted like it was his money. It's our money. Anyway, he is upset with me because he found out I had a bank account he knew nothing about. I've been making money online and keeping it from him. He says that his problem is not that I've been making money online, but that I kept it from him in the event of a divorce someday. He said that women keeping a stash of hidden money in case the marriage fails It's like a man keeping a side chick in case the marriage fails. And we both need to be all in or nothing. My mom raised me. Oh Lord. That statement right there. Here we go. My mom raised me to have a secret stash that my husband doesn't know about. Is this wrong? Is my husband right? And what's so interesting is the picture they decided to put with this question. What does that say? Look at that picture. So anyway, so um is this wrong, or is the husband right? Is she right? What do you say, love doctor?
Well, these are things that we uncover in the premarital portion of the session. Premaritally, you need to know that. So if I gotta say, because that's one of my questions actually. I got this stash over here, and things go left, then I got a bailout clause, which means I don't have 100% trust in you. The problem here is that she's carrying her mother's feelings about men. She's carrying her mother's feelings about something that has never happened.
That's that part. Mm-hmm.
That's never happened. But my mama said I should always have this stash over here. So technically, and this is one of the questions I always ask all my clients. So you never really left home. If you taking that kind of advice from your mom, then you're still that little girl looking to mom for advice. The question is what's going on with mom? Did she have a husband who didn't provide for her, or had to have a stash? See, I need more details. So
Right.
I would certainly ask, because what it feels like is that she's carrying her mom's feelings.
Well, I mean, she flat out said, my mom raised me. Raised me. She didn't just tell me, she raised me to have a secret stash, which means probably she saw her mom do it, or she saw her mom not do it. Then divorce happens and she's left with nothing, and then had to fight and scrap and save and had a hard time raising her. Anything. Both of those scenarios could be true,
Sure,
right?
right. But the feeling she's carrying from her mom is going to undermine her relationship, because this guy in she just said he's the most unselfless person I know. That should have been boom, right? He's the most unselfish person I know. And most women are fortunate to have a man who actually thinks like that.
Right.
So he hasn't given her a reason to do that. So him being upset means that he, like, are you all in? You know, how much more of your mama stuff is going to wind up in our relationship, because this is our relationship. This isn't your mama's relationship.
Mhm.
That strategy may have worked for her, but this is 2024. That's not going to work, especially if you got a good man.
Wow. Well, the husband is more hurt by the lack of integrity.
Integrity, trust, leadership, all that.
So
It,
here's a trust issue in this scenario as well.
absolutely. She doesn't. She if the relationship goes left, right? And I'm that to set aside money means you actually invite sabotage into your relationship. You got that. You got your plan B sitting over there, and
Well,
and
how would she then be able to protect herself without inviting that in that way?
well, you're assuming that there's going to be a reason for her to protect herself. According to the first part of this paragraph, she's
Hmm.
never given him that reason. This is a good dude.
No.
I've seen a lot of good dudes who suffer this, and I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to be bothered. Oh, but I'm sorry. Here, you can have the money. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. that means you don't accept my leadership. You don't trust me. And for a guy, for a man who knows his worth, I ain't cheating on you. I ain't beating you. I ain't, you know, out here messing around. I'm not having emotional affairs. If I am straight arrow,
Mm-hmm.
you got a stash over here or something, then that makes me wonder what else are you doing that I don't know about.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, but I guess what I'm saying is, are we supposed to just sit there and be vulnerable then and just trust until we can't?
Until you have a reason, sure.
But by the time it's a reason, it could be too late for me to save anything.
Well,
You know what I mean?
well
No, I'm
then,
playing devil's advocate. I'm not
no,
saying that
no, and that's cool.
I
I get
agree. I'm not
that.
saying I agree. I'm just
Right.
asking.
So why get married? If that fear is going to be in the back of your head, and you got your mom in your ear and some of your girlfriends in your ear who all had bad experiences, and
Mm-hmm.
you have it, they get to you they get to project their stuff onto you. Now I think that ruined a lot of relationships as well. You got your girlfriend in your ear, girl. You better have some money set aside because these niggas these days, you don't know. Okay.
But I love him, Lynn. I love him. That's why I'm marrying him. I love him.
Mm-hmm. And until he gives you a reason, then be all in.
Okay, so wait for the reason, not wait for like anticipation. I'm saying if the reason comes, that's when you start to take some action.
Right. If he gives you a reason, he mismanages money, or he screwed up, lost his job, or whatever, you know.
So
That's that.
here's an example. So this is me. Let's say this is me. We're married. I'm stay-at-home mom. Everything is lovely. I'm not I'm not making I'm making money on the side, but he knows I'm making money on the side. Hey,
Okay.
I decided to start this little sideline business. It's residual income. I don't have to do much. I got a website, people buy stuff. I'm collecting checks over here.
Cool.
Right?
Cool.
No inventory got to keep. It's just money coming in, and all the money that I get in, I'm putting aside for the college fund. That's where I'm doing this college fund for our kids.
Okay.
And all of
You
a sudden, he start acting different.
acting
Things
different.
all of a sudden, he can't always account for his time, or he's not as romantic with me as he used to be, or I start seeing these charges on the bill with no explanation that I wasn't a part of. Where these come from, and who is this? And I see this, but I don't say anything to him. And
Mm.
what I do, instead of putting $1,000 a week into the college fund, I put 700. Take 300 and put it in another account that he doesn't know about. Now, if later on it comes out that the whole reason why he was acting weird was some very mundane reason, he wasn't cheating or anything, something else was going on, does she then tell him, well, I'm glad to know it because I'm just gonna let you know because I was putting $300 over here to protect myself just in case this is what the scenario was? Or does she still never tell him?
And everything was copacetic, and there was no reason.
Yeah, that's you okay. This is a sitcom reason. Let me give you a sitcom scenario. Every sitcom just about has one of these scenarios where one of the spouses start acting weird, right? And the other one thinks, oh, they're cheating. Come to find out, he's planning a surprise party for her, some craziness, and he was being all clandestine, and then she walks in mad, surprise, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying something like that. I'm not saying it's exactly that, but what if she finds out and he comes to her with a legit reason, everything is cool, he's not cheating, whatever? Does she tell him, or does she still keep it just in case? Because now, even though this time it was okay, she's still a little, she might be spooked by it. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
But see, the thing is, once you put that out there into the ethos, and once you put that scenario out there, well, then Couples need symmetry, right? The
Right.
moment it's out of symmetry,
Mm-hmm.
the tendency is to want to do this, come back to the middle. So if she doesn't tell him, then she maintains this asymmetrical relationship. I'm doing this thing, I ain't telling you about it. That's going to put it out there. And couples are energetically connected. So if she does that, it may give foothold for him to, okay, well, I'm saving up for a Humvee, and I got this little stash to the side, and then you find out about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're equal. See, but the moment you start investing in things that make the relationship non-symmetrical, then
Mm-hmm.
you invite that kind of drama into your space. And it's just a matter of time. And if you don't talk it out, you'll act it out.
Okay. Do you have any recommendations for people to keep them from inviting this into putting this into the ethos, as you call it? Do you have any suggestions or advice for people to not do this?
Or tell them, babe, I got this money set over here to the side, in in case something goes bad with the house, or I need to bail you out of jail, or I got this money sitting over here, and you have access to that money. Because if something were to happen to you, then don't nobody know nothing. Hey, here you got $23,000 sitting out there, and you dead and gone in an accident. Don't nobody know nothing, and it just sits there. Be honest and see, and that's the thing. Couples need to be emotionally butt naked in front of each other. Like, here it is. I ain't hiding nothing from you. Pirouette. Here it is. All of it. And for most couples, that's an operational tempo that they haven't seen or experienced. That level of trust, where we're here. You get little slight variations, but you don't get these big wild ass swings. Like, I got a whole nother family down the block. The old school, they said if your daddy drove a Cadillac, then you got some relatives that you don't know about. You got a whole family over here. So
yeah, that was the saying.
Right.
Hey, not only a Cadillac, but that deuce and a quarter too.
That deuce and a quarter.
Don't sneeze on a deuce and a quarter.
My grandpa had one. So
yeah. My family, we had one. We had two, actually.
That's right. So if you don't want to introduce that kind of drama, then just keep it above. Hey, I want to put aside some money that ain't neither one of us got access to, but in case something go wrong. Oh, okay, cool. Now I know about it. Okay, and you be honest, because somebody needs to access that. Something comes up. Hey, babe, you had that stash, right? Is it enough to cover this thing that we got? Yeah, I got you.
But that doesn't give that person protection, because if the spouse has access to it, then what they could feel like is, well, shoot, he get mad enough at me, he could probably just go in there and get it changed and take me off of it.
See, but that's just, then why get married? You dragging stuff
because she loves him. She loves him, not him. She loves him.
But what you're doing is you're introducing intergenerational dysfunction. And especially if you do this kind of behavior in front of your kids. Now with children, more is caught than taught.
That's true.
So mama has some money,
she acknowledged that.
Yeah, right.
She acknowledged that. She got that from her mama.
That part. Start growing up. So now, again, children repeat a good chunk of their parents' lives. And how you handle money, so that was the model she grew up with. Now, if she came clean and said, well, my mom did that, and now that didn't work for her. Did it prevent her from getting divorced? Did it prevent her? Did she have a bailout plan? I mean, did it work? And that may have worked in the 70s and 80s. But this is 2024. There are people out there, are professions out there who know how to find this money. They're called forensic accountants. I never knew what a forensic accountant was until I sat in on a divorce webinar. Yeah. So now you got money out there that I don't know about. What else do you see? And again, that just leaves it. Now here comes other questions. So either you trust this person or you don't. If you don't grow up with a prototype, if you see, daddy loving mama and mama loving daddy, if you got that prototype in your mind, you know how to be in a relationship. If you grow up without either parent, then you're going into the relationship with something that probably is going to come up in your relationship, and you'll either talk it out or you'll act it out. That part. So
That's a sticky situation, really.
It is.
I mean, what you're saying is 100% right, and I know this up here.
Yeah,
but
a lot
the human nature of people are to say, trust but verify, trust but take precautions, trust but prepare.
Right.
And it's hard to rail against that feeling because people don't want to be hurt.
Well, if you're going to spend your relationship in a defensive posture, waiting on you to do some shit because I know something's going to go down. You invite. That's the law of attraction. There you go.
Right.
So if I have that, I'm inviting it in. If I have this just a tiny little bit of trust, then something's going to happen to activate it. That's Murphy's law. If it can go wrong, it will. If you have that little bit of doubt, then it will. You can't play with that kind of energy and expect and not violate the integrity of your relationship, because that's a relationship violation. So.
Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt to share this last video. I think I got the sound going to be able to come through this time.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Let me know right away if you can't hear it. So hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I used to grow up and want to be like you.
Used to.
And now I don't.
Wow.
What you mean you don't want to be like me? Who you want to be like?
You're an awesome dad. You give me everything I want, but you don't know how to treat women.
Ooh.
You're the only one in this family. You never want to hold your girlfriend's hand and walk with her.
Wow.
Or take her on a date. You're the only person in this family that don't know how to treat a girl.
I don't want to because I'm not sweet. Because I'm not sweet, you don't want to be like. You don't want to.
That's the whole point of getting a girlfriend. Cause if my mama, she was always rude to you, you wouldn't even want to be with her, would you?
At all.
Would you?
No.
Right.
Exactly. So why do you think she would want to be with you if he was nice?
Out of the mouth of babes.
Explain.
Dumbfounded.
People always trying to not hurt your feelings and tell you everything that's not what you really are.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about something.
Whoa. I've watched this about 3 or 4 times. But I swear every time I hear it, I'm still like, ugh, whoa. This young person, I don't even know how old he is. He looked like he's about 11, maybe 10. But he looks and sounds really young, doesn't he?
Yeah. I would expect that kind of language to come from an only child. I wouldn't expect that kind of language to come from you got 2 or 3 brothers and sisters. No, that's the language of an only child. Only children are given access to adult information and conversations. You're an only child. I'm an only child. Only children are way advanced language, verbiage, all that, because they ain't no other brothers and sisters in the house. So you communicate a lot with your parent or parents. So you learn stuff way ahead of the curve.
Right.
That sounds like an only child. That level of conversation, that verbiage, language, yeah. And technically in that scenario, him and his dad are probably the same age. Looking at the dad's reaction of being blown back, like what? How do you know that? Like what? That
Listen,
part.
this little boy said, "You the only one in the family that don't even like to hold your girlfriend hands. You don't know how to treat a woman." I just couldn't believe he said that. And you're right, though. He could be an only child living with his mama and trying to protect his mama.
That part.
The girlfriend could be his mama. You know?
Right. In an uncommitted relationship. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just to hear that had to cut his heart open, though, to hear your son tell you don't know how to treat a woman.
Yeah, it should.
So put yourself in his shoes. I know it's hard to do because you're not going to be like that, but put yourself in his shoes, and your son comes and tells you something like that. How would you feel?
Corrected.
Explain.
And your children can provide you with a corrective experience, but that's like me parenting my parent. That conversation should be coming, that conversation should be coming from your child. But I've seen children who are adultified or parentified or spouseified. Now he's one of them, if not all of them, or some of it. That's a parentified child or an adultified child at that level of language. And I've seen it. I've seen parents actually parented by their children.
How's that? How so?
Right. It's you have a certain level of respect and awe, and then this parent relies on you, because that parent wasn't parented either. So here you, and this is kind of, I'm kind of spitballing here. So if my parent is a baby, right? But in sibling order, my parent's last born, the baby of the family. And my parent has me. I'm a firstborn. I got firstborn energy, right? I've seen firstborns. I had a couple years ago, baby, right? Baby energy. They had a child. That child was firstborn. Who was running that house? The child.
The child.
We've all seen it. Baby don't know what to do. What do? They so used to being told what to do. And a firstborn is going to implement that told what to do, because that's what firstborns do. And 56% of your CEOs are firstborn children, right?
Yeah. And they enjoy, firstborns enjoy telling other people what to do. Boy, they are
always shot calling. It's one of the first things I check.
They're just bossy. They come out bossy.
Right. So one of the first things I checked with all of my couples, I said, well, what's your sibling position? Firstborn. So you used to ball and shot calling, right? Oh, yeah. Did any of your brothers and sisters thank you? No. And what's your position? Well, I'm firstborn too. I only had one brother. So here you got these two firstborn energies on a collision, because I'm used to ball and shot calling. No, I'm used to ball and shot calling. Bang.
There you
Neither
go.
one of them have left home mentally. Here we go with the pattern. Ain't left home, because you can't be firstborn in this relationship.
And how does it work when one of them is firstborn and one of them is a baby? How does it work?
Works out a whole hell of a lot better. His firstborn energy Here's baby energy. Boom. That'll work.
What if one is number 6 out of 7, and then the other one is 2nd out of 2?
That's good. I like for sibling positions to be staggered. I don't want firstborn, middle, baby. There's a conflict for identity. There's an identity crisis. You a middle, I'm a middle. We gonna have some stuff.
Yeah,
but baby, I'm a baby.
Yeah, but baby is gonna be a problem too.
Baby's gonna be a huge problem. And the couple I had, when that child hit 8-9 years old, child running the house. Because baby parents are used to being told what to do. So here comes a child with firstborn energy. And he's telling his parents what to do. Mom, did you look into the checking account yet? Do we have enough? I mean, like, checking account? What do you know about the damn checking account? What?
You're 10. What are you talking about? What you asking me about grown folks checking accounts?
I've seen it. And I'll bet you some folks in the audience who know somebody like that.
Probably.
Yeah. Mom, we're going to church. Dad, we're going to church Sunday. Y'all got to get up. Y'all got to get up because I don't want to be late.
That ain't happening in my house.
But Sharon, you're middle child. Second? What's your?
No, I'm last. I'm the baby.
You the baby.
I have 2 older sisters.
Ah, okay.
3 girls, and I'm the youngest.
Okay. Now, the thing about sibling position is that it can change. If the firstborn kid screws up, then the title goes down to the second kid, right?
It did, yeah.
If the second kid screws up, it goes down to the baby of the family. And the baby of the family goes off to be a lawyer, doctor, or whatever.
And the baby resents it, probably.
No.
Because they didn't ask for it.
The firstborn resents it.
Really?
Because you took my title. See, mom and daddy spoiled you. You got everything. I ain't get shit.
But wait a minute. From what other people tell me, now this is not my case. From what other people tell me, they the baby doesn't want that responsibility because they're used to being taken care of by the bossy folk.
But the baby energetically realizes that somebody needs to bring some decent energy into this house. And the first 2 screwed it up. Now it's your turn. Okay, well, I'm going to be on the dean's list. I'm going to be on the honor roll. I'm going to be in the chess club. I'm going to be in the track, football, dean's list, academic honor roll, blah, blah, blah. This kid brings honor into this house. And if the first one doesn't do it, the second one will get a shot at it. If the second one doesn't do it, and I hear it all the time, I ask, who's the superstar in the family? Oh, that'd be my baby brother. Yeah, he driving a Tesla, got a paid for a house, got a wife, kids, and helps out the family financially. Well, how the first kid screw up? Oh, he was on drugs and went to jail.
Okay. No.
And then the second kid.
That's not my experience, but I have seen people. Yeah, I've seen that in families.
Sure. Who's the superstar in your family?
You're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be my sister. My sister that's above me, the one that you've met, Sheila.
Middle.
The middle.
Uh-huh.
Well, see, our oldest sister never lived with us. Right? She's our half sister, but I just call her my sister. She's my sister. Forget all that half stuff. She's our sister, but she never lived with us. So in my household, it was just Sheila and I. Big sister, little sister. Big sister taught me everything. Big sister used to hold school with a chalkboard and everything, teach me everything, then tell me everything. and I would just do it. I mean, that's my sister. And so I was used to it, used to being told this is how you do things.
Yeah.
So this is
Right.
how I did things.
Yeah, and that technically that's the you the baby. So
Yeah, but it was very interesting though. By the time I got to college, I knew what to do because I had an example.
which is what she provided.
She did.
That part.
And she was a very good example. Told you she was a superstar now.
Right. Right.
So she was a very good example.
Did
I
you
followed
thank
it. I followed what she said as much as I knew how, as much as I could.
Right.
Put it that way.
Did you thank her?
Oh, all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Good deal.
All the time. She probably gets tired of me thanking her because I still thank her and I'm in my 50s. But I do.
That part. Because I
But
hear
let
a
me
lot
tell
of
you, I'm one of the proudest babies you probably ever want to meet. I am glad I was the baby. I'm the baby. I'm glad. I'm proud of being the baby. I love my role. And you know, when people complain and they say this, that, and the third, I'm like, well, y'all spoiled me. Y'all did this. I ain't do this. I didn't ask to be here. I just came out and here I am, and here y'all do. Y'all,
Right.
Here you go, Sharon. Here, do.
Right. Right.
So I love being the baby.
Mhm.
Didn't bother me because what happens is everybody else gets to share their lived experiences with me. I'm 4 years behind her. So by the time I got to whatever milestone, I've got 4 years experience as an example ahead of me.
Right.
So I was way ahead of my peers in a lot of things.
Okay. Okay.
So
but your sister overfunctioned because that's technically that's not her. That should not be her role. That should be mom's role.
Well, mom and dad though, that I don't get me wrong. It wasn't like I didn't learn from them. I learned mostly everything from them. But my sister, it was fun. You know how some people like their idea of fun is they're riding a bike or they're doing hula hoop and hopscotch or playing Jackson outside playing volleyball in the backyard. We did all those things, but it was also fun to her to teach me stuff. Okay. Because that's just part of who she is. She always been a bossy chick. She always been bossy.
Right.
And want to tell somebody what to do.
Right.
Bless her heart.
And her profession, is she a manager or a?
Well, she's CEO now, but she's never been, she wasn't necessarily a manager of people, but she managed processes more so than people.
Right.
But now she's CEO of her own company. She started her own business and doing quite well now. But she's got the personality to do that.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. That's what, like I said, most CEOs are firstborns. Mm-hmm. She's a firstborn.
You said 56. You said 56%.
Easy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love being a baby, honey. You couldn't take I couldn't have written it better. I loved it.
and that's a great experience, and you're fortunate because not a lot of babies, some babies inherit a role that they don't want and they step up. And I got a client right now who stepped up, and now he went past the second kid, went past third. Now here's this kid who's the youngest now contributing money and telling everybody else what to do. That part. And I get a lot of frustrated folks. I'm tired. I know it's my family, but I'm tired of them leaning on me. I'm tired of them. I said, well, what happens if you stop giving money? Yeah. Right. Dead silent. Right. Because it's like, So it's up to you. I mean, you've gotten them to this point. You need to establish a timeline. Okay. You need to get your stuff together, and you got this long to get your stuff together, because after that, establish a timeline. Got a lot. I get a lot of that. Folks who are firstborn and they just tired of their families wearing them out. or the superstar of the family. You know, this the one kid that's going to bring some honor and decency into this house. Somebody that they can, that mom and daddy can brag on. See, but that kid right there, why aren't you like your brother? Why ain't you like your sister?
Yeah, I've heard that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've seen it. It's not a good feeling because now they're struggling within themselves to you know, here's a leadership role that I didn't want, but now okay. But my mama and my daddy need somebody to bring some honor into this house. That part, and so it becomes an assignment. You know, you see the first kid screw up, you see the second kid screw up, and then you don't even have to say it. That baby of the family will automatically want to do better, just to prove that they are. And normally, you between firstborn and secondborn, y'all got opposite personalities, just opposite usually. So it works. It normally works itself out. It works itself.
Yeah, and that's true. They do. They have opposite, and I don't know. We're three very, very unique people. We're not similar in a lot of ways. We're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. But I think Sheila and I are similar in ways that matter, that are good to be alike in. I'll say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But where we're opposite works as well. But back to the video with the little guy telling the father, there were people in the comments of the video that kept saying, I would slap that little boy in the face because he was disrespectful. You don't tell your parent, stuff like that. I would have popped him. And I'm sitting there reading this like,
wow.
Do y'all understand what this boy is saying? I mean, okay, I'm not a therapist, right? I'm not a therapist, psychologist, counselor. I'm none of that. I'm just a regular old chick. I'm watching this video and I immediately thought, what has this little boy seen? See, what has he seen? He must have seen the results of him not treating this woman well, whoever it is. If it's his girlfriend, that's just his girlfriend, or if it's his mama, he must have seen her reaction to him not holding her hand, not saying kind words to her, that not being nice to her, and it bothered him.
It did.
And so he has to express it. And that's what I at least felt like he was respectful enough at the beginning of the video. He says, Dad, I need to talk to you about something. That's what he said. And that's very mature to do that. He didn't just walk up, blurt it out, or argue, fussing at him like, see, that's why you ain't no good. You don't even know how to treat a woman. Blah, 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 blah. He didn't do that.
Well, but you can certainly see the corrective thing that's going on. So his father never had a corrective experience.
I feel that, but what I'm saying though is I don't feel like the son was disrespectful in it.
No,
I really don't think he was, and those people were in there giving it to him. I'm like, what are you talking about? What kind of household do you run?
Those people who were giving it to him were in their child state.
They stuck in it.
They stuck, and you can't raise your children from your inner child. That's a whole nother episode.
When my boy Dennis comes back to the scene, we often bring up the inner child, right? And we keep saying we're gonna have you back for a show and talk just about that. The inner child, because that inner child, man, that's a concept that I remember the first time you said it, I was like, it made so much sense, but I was like, I never thought about that. And that's the part. That's probably the part of me.
They don't have a clue. I said, I had a client the other day. I said, you're in it.
Uh-oh, you froze. You froze, Lynn. Uh-oh.
Sure.
There you go.
There you go.
How
Okay.
do you come back?
We back?
Yep, you're back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You froze
I
for a
forgot what
moment.
I was saying.
You froze for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Your inner child. Yeah, your inner child.
You
That's
said
all.
you had a client come in the other day
Right.
talking about that.
Right. I said your inner child has been trying to get your attention this time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what inner children do. They get your attention. I introduce a lot of folks to their inner child. They didn't know that it exists or the energy's there. That's
Mm-hmm.
and when I was seeing folks walk when I had a walk in, I got these African American dolls and I give them the doll and say with it. Here's your inner child. Have a conversation with it. Tell it. And they look at me all strange. I'm like, yeah, it's a real thing. Go ahead. Tell it. So once
Wow.
you get to know who's responsible for some of your energy and the decisions you make, then you can make better choices.
True. Okay. Well,
Are
this
you
has been
frozen?
great so far. So listen, I've got one final question for. Well,
What is
actually, I have two. But I'm gonna ask you this one. Affirmations. The power of affirmations. Do affirmations really work? And if so, how do they work, or why do they work?
Mm-hmm.
You froze again. You back? I think you froze again, Lynn. You back?
I got bars.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah. I shut down all the other windows. I don't know what's it's Saturday morning. Everybody's getting online. So
I guess so.
you were saying something about affirmations.
Yeah. Why do they do they work? And if so, how or why do they work? Oh, it froze again. Uh-oh. 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 I guess he'll come back
Uh,
in.
I when I'm looking at my video, my video's responding to how. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I have shut down everything else.
I don't know. Sometimes it gets quirky like that.
Oh, you
Maybe
need to
that
go out and come
maybe
back in. Oh,
maybe that yeah, go out and come back in. Go out and come back in.
I'm just picking up bits and pieces.
It's okay.
Um,
I can hear you a little bit.
I can't see you. I'm getting bits and pieces of you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Did you go? Did you leave? Did you go back out? Yeah. Sorry for the technicalities, folks. I'm not sure what's going on. I guess with the power outages and so forth going on around here, maybe that's affecting his signal out there in Wake County, because I'm in Durham County. We don't have any outages out here, so. But this has been helpful and informative today. Have any of you ever heard about your inner child and how that plays in your adult life? I tell you, next time we have him on, we need to talk about that a little bit more. So I don't see that he's there. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show. It's okay. We thank Lynn, the love doctor. His name is Lynn Sturdivant, Sturdivant. And he is our resident returning love doctor. Okay, he's back.
Wow, what was that?
I don't know.
It ain't raining. It's sunny outside.
No, I was telling the people Wake County does have some outages. We don't have any here, but Wake County did have some power outages. Maybe that's affecting it in some way. I don't know.
I saw a river running down the street. So yeah. So the last thing I heard was affirmations.
Yes, affirmations. Do they work? And if
Yes.
so, why and why or how?
Affirmations work in that it is, if you want to change something about yourself, if you repeat it 28 times in a row, you can actually implement a change. Affirmations are things that kind of help it along the way, right? Something I want to change about myself. I got low self-esteem, so I look myself in the mirror every day and go, I love me.
Mm-hmm.
I love who you are. I have high self-esteem. And I say it over and over and over and over again. If you do it right when you're just about to fall asleep, your logic drops out and the window between your conscious and your unconscious opens. And what affirmations does is kind of opens that window from your unconscious to your consciousness. We run off of our unconsciously, we're about 80%. Conscious, about maybe 20%. So affirmations just help you. It's repetition. It's positive repetition, so that you can help facilitate the change that you want to implement. Meditation is one of the places. I meditated this morning before I came on. So meditation is huge. Meditation is a whole nother axis. If you want to change your life, you want to change the trajectory of your life, meditations, affirmations can help get you there.
Well, meditation is one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. I've read that book, and meditation is in there. And they say most successful people, it's like 80, 90, 80%, 70 is a high percentage, actually meditate.
Yeah. That's how you manifest. You want to manifest. I want to manifest a house. I want to manifest. You take your thoughts and turn them into particles, right? The particles line up with the things that you want to change, and then somehow law of attraction, all these things come into play, that things that you want to change. But you have to be consistent with it, and you have to trust the universe and God, or however you think about it, to bring those changes to you. But if you're full of doubt and depression and nothing ever goes my way, you attract more of the same thing. You got to change your language. You got to change what you say to yourself. That part.
And is it true that in order to change the way you're thinking about it, you have to first start saying it first
Yes.
before you will change this. Is that correct?
That's what the whole I have clients who I'd say, look yourself in the mirror for the next 30 days and say, I love you. You are worthy. You are worthy of wealth. You are worthy of abundance. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of prosperity. And say it over and over and over and over again. Right around when you're falling asleep and that window to your unconscious opens up and you hit it with that, you do it enough, then electromagnetically you change your signature as to what you attract. This is electromagnet frequency kind of thing. I want to change my frequency so that I can stop attracting the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I hear my single clients say, I keep attracting the same kind of man. I keep attracting the same kind of woman. Well, you keep having the same thought. And so guess what? It's going to come to you. They will find you. And especially my clients who are empathic, highly sensitive people. I have an empath on my roster right now. And why do I keep attracting the same people? You attract people who need to be helped, healed, fixed, saved, or rescued. And that's the broadcast you send out. And those people are going to find you. They'll find you in a room full of 100 people. They'll find you. Can you help me? Can you heal me?
How do you change that? How do you change that though?
We ain't got enough time to talk about that kind of change.
I'm about to say. I mean, how in the world do you change that kind of vibration if that's naturally who you are? Not saying it's me. I'm just saying that's heavy right there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got clients who and I discovered it. Well, my dissertation was on narcissism.
Yes.
So if you are that's who you're going to attract. Okay. And it'll be and most narcissists hit you with the representative. They give you, they kind of sniff out what you need, and they morph into that thing that you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then you drop your guard, and in exchange, you start giving them all the attention and love. You give them all of that stuff, but it's not coming back to you, and that's when you start scratching your head. And I remember telling this one client, I said, the person you fell in love with never existed. And you keep looking for that person. I know it's just, I'm like, no, that's not the person that you fell in love with. That person never existed. They just existed to hook you. Once they hook you, then that part of them fades away.
Oh, Lord. Yes, Lord. That's true. Okay, on that note, we're going to end on that note. Do you have any final words?
If you've never tried session work, I encourage you to get a relationship coach, get a therapist, get somebody who has the skill to do it. Not everybody who has talks the talk, walk the walk. So you should select a therapist that will give you a sample of how they talk. You know, I give everybody a 20-minute sample of who I am, how I talk, my language, my verbiage, my energy. And if you look online, you'll see all my publications and book chapters and journal articles and all that stuff. So,
and where can they find your website?
I'm in the process of changing the website. So I'm on Facebook as Relationship Coach Pro, and Relationship Coach Pro, Facebook, Twitter. Facebook and Twitter. Relationship Coach Pro. You'll find me, my contact information and all that. And I'm changing the website because I'm getting ready to pivot into. I do a lot of personality assessment. I do personality assessments for companies who are hiring new people, so you can kind of see what you're getting, because it ain't the resume. It ain't the interview, and your gut instinct is not going to help you hire anybody. You won't find out who they are. See, this is why I got into this, because hiring and dating, same thing. literally the same thing. So I'm helping people to hire better. I could probably use it to help people date better too, but I'll play with that later on.
Okay. All right. Well, my final thoughts are this. Mental health is extremely important. Do not be ashamed to reach out if you need help. There are so many people out here who can help you.
Yep.
Namely, the Relationship Coach Pro sitting on the screen with me. And you don't have to be local. I'm sure he offers virtual counseling and help
all over the world. Yes.
That's right. And if you need to talk to somebody, give the Relationship Coach Pro a holla.
Yep.
It could do wonders for you. Do wonders for you. This world needs healing right now. It's a lot going on. There was a subject that I was going to talk to you about, but we'll save that for the next time because it would take another 40 minutes to talk about it. So we'll do that the next time. But this world, especially this nation, needs a lot of healing. And you got a lot of broken people, and it's just breaking up everybody.
And broken people with power.
Yes. And that's a dangerous thing.
That's the part.
Mm-hmm.
Broken people with power practice nepotism. They bring in other broken people.
That's right.
Yeah, your ex-45 president does that. He attracts a lot of broken people, and so.
Oh yeah.
My conservative estimate was that 50% of the U.S. population is narcissistic.
That's a lot. That's way too many.
It's higher in the Black community, especially among males.
Wouldn't be shocked.
You know.
But well, we thank you all for listening with us in the comments today. You could be anywhere on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. And I'm just grateful that you're here, spend time with me, and stay in the room for a minute while I play the outro. But thank you so much for coming on, Lynn. Thank you to our public out here listening and watching. I hope you have a good rest of the day on this Saturday. See you next Saturday on the side, Jawn, here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And you may catch me on Tuesday night on Talkurish Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, some other places too. Might be back there on Tuesday. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day.